This is Robert Cundiff again. My students used to refer to me as RC1, and my wife Ruth has the same initials, so she was RC2. And I realized that I have many, many memories of the old building there at Mount Carmel that we call the Ad Building. And one of them was when we did our junior program. We happened to do it that year on the story of Nehemiah from the Bible. And somehow I got chosen to play the part of Nehemiah. And we boys carried in blocks, and we actually built part of a wall up there, just temporary. We didn't glue them together with concrete or anything. But we did build a wall, and I got to dress up like somebody from the past that Nehemiah would dress in those garments. I remember I wore a house coat, and I wore a fake beard, and I carried a sword, and I didn't have any of those things that I owned. I had to borrow them all. But it was really fun, and it was wonderful to work with my classmates and present the story of Nehemiah. And at that time, I was a Christian. I had given my heart to the Lord in January the 27th of 1951. And then later on that year, near the end of the school year, we did our junior program. It was long and involved, required a lot of memory, and a lot of work went into that. And then I remember Miss Day's Latin classes and the contests we had there in one of the rooms. Let's see, that would have been room C, or no, it wasn't C.
Room B. Mom said room B.
It could have been room B. Okay. Anyway, we had some great battles. Not only did Julius Caesar and Mark Antony and so on have battles in Latin, but we did too. Great memories, great memories. And then Miss Day's Bible class. I learned so much, even though I was only a freshman and I didn't get things settled with the Lord until I was a junior. But I learned so much that I was able to carry on in my ministry later on. And it was at that time, the day after the Lord saved me, that I surrendered my life to Jesus and let him become the king of my life, gave me a pure heart. And later on, I met Ruth. I recognized who she was there at that time, a wonderful girl that loved God and made great grades, even better than I did. But anyway, the Lord led Ruth and me back in 1962, and we wound up teaching 43 years each there at Mount Carmel. And about 41 of those years, I taught a class in the Ad Building. The last couple of years, I got out of the Ad Building and I let a young teacher who was needing to finish up his training to have the place there in that building. But anyway, it was like a home to me, and my students and I had wonderful experiences, learning and good humor and so on. And I remember as a young person climbing those stairs and going up to the second floor during the lunch hour. I was too bashful and backward to eat in the dining hall, and Miss McConnell, Mrs. Swagger, Mrs. Paulo, somebody would stay up there and eat lunch in the office and have it open to sell us a candy bar, which we could buy for a nickel back then, or maybe a banana or something. It was wonderful to get acquainted with those people, and I had my first platform experience there by speaking in young people's service shortly after I was saved. it was like a little sermonette that I was to give. And then when I was a senior, I preached my first sermon in the Mount Carmel Chapel at the end of my senior year when we presented our caps and gowns and introduced my class and so on. I preached my very first sermon in public, and it was on the line of the three temptations of Jesus. And that was a wonderful way. My class was the last one to graduate from the old chapel in 1952. So I look back and I have many, many more memories of great experiences that come back to me, and I'm so thrilled to see that building being renovated and brought back to life from the dead into the present to serve the kids of the next generation. Thanks be unto Jesus.